Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk Upon Further Review, where we talk about the previous Eagles game, where we loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 38-29, dropping our record to 1-3-1. So the only football I really want to talk about, I was changing. I was just going to talk about soccer. I was going to talk about the Union and instead of the Eagles. They're such an embarrassment right now. I can't believe that this season is turning out the way it is. It's not over. I know it's not over, but it's just nowhere near what we were expecting this year. And now I'm starting to believe that if we make it to 8-8, that's a pretty good season for the way that we're playing right now. And I know there's still a lot of games left to play, and there's still some time to turn it around. And there were some positive things that happened in this game, but 1-3-1 is not where we expected to be after 5 weeks in the NFL. Hey guys, I missed you guys. I wasn't here Sunday, and Pat, you did a hell of a job. Give yourself a round of applause. Hit the applause button. Pat did a heck of a job holding it down while the Dark Knight and Shelbo were not in the house. He did a solo show, pre-game and post-game, and it was very entertaining. Very, he's knowledgeable anyway about the X's and O's, and he did a great job. So I just wanted to give you a round of applause for holding it down.
Appreciate it.
But we are back now, and what do you guys think? I mean, Pat, what do you think about Sunday's game?
It almost made me go back to drinking. There were so many different elements of that game that missed opportunities. Just us not being aggressive in certain situations, seeing the play, knowing what the play is going to be, and not being able to
Adjust.
execute against the plays that we know is happening. So, I mean, with that being said, besides me almost drinking on Sunday, I it almost left me speechless. Especially that last defensive stand. It's just a piss poor job all around. Piss poor job all around.
Oh man, it was something to behold. Shell, what do you think?
I mean, it was some good spots. We actually found a receiver.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
we
That's
found a
that's real
receiver.
great.
Um, the running game was hard, but it was starting to come together. I think he went away from it too early.
Mhm.
It was starting. It was actually starting to work a little bit, and then he got bullied. He let Pittsburgh bully him, and that's typically what they do. The only way you can beat a bully is to fight a bully, and he didn't fight him, and I didn't like that. I didn't. It was a lack of effort there. That's what all I can say is lack of effort, and the play's coming, and you still don't do the things to cover it. We let that rookie receiver do whatever he wanted to. We should have shut that down, man. He's the only person that hurt us.
Yeah.
And we made a star out of that guy. We made him look like Jerry Rice on
Yeah,
Sunday.
he's,
Listen,
he's, he's getting a
my
big contract.
fantasy. Well, he put up 42 points in my fantasy, and I had him on the flex, and I was playing this guy.
Oh wow!
This
All
time
right,
alone
so
beat him.
let's start this first quarter.
You're now listening to the First Quarter.
All right, so if you are accustomed to watching Eagles talk, then you are accustomed to us enjoying talking about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me stop right here first and just tell you, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button right below there. Hit the subscribe button so you can be notified every time we go live on our channel. And if you're not on YouTube, go over to YouTube. Give us a subscription. We need subscribers. Go over there, take a second out and go over to YouTube. Our channel is Eagles Talk, just as it is on Facebook, and give us a subscribe there. But anyway, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. And we're going to be enjoying it a lot tonight because we are 1-3-1. So you guys join in. This is an interactive show. So when we do a shot, we do a shot at the beginning of each quarter, which this show is divided into 4 quarters, just like a real game. So when we do a shot, you do a shot. Let us know what you're drinking out there. Today, I am partaking in the Crown Royale. Pat is on his sober October kick here, so he's not doing anything, and I don't know what Shell's doing. So
Tequila 1800, nothing changed.
he's doing a
He's
tequila
finished off the
1800.
bottle.
I'm
Yeah.
All right,
finishing
so
the bottle up.
As you get your drink ready, let me just recognize the first person in the room tonight, and that was Daphne Nicole. She says, "Hi, hey guys,
Right.
hey Daphne, what's up?" Second one
Hey,
was
Daph.
JT. Yes, y'all. What's up,
What's
JT?
up, Jay?
It's
What up, Jay?
encouraging to see that people are kind of up and not as down as I am. With what happened on Sunday, and we'll talk about it. Jeremiah was third in the room. He says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Jeremiah? Stacy, what's
Oh,
up, Stacy? Stacy's in the room. Brian Ballard is in the room. A lot of regulars there, man. We appreciate you guys. Drexel Davis says, "Good evening, fellas. Good evening, Drexel."
what
Barry
up, Drexel?
Barnhart, Zach Ertz needs paid his money. Dude, he needs his money so he can start playing because he hasn't earned it
That's
yet.
a
I
bunch of
mean,
crap. He
you know,
got 2 years
let's
left
give
on
him
his contract.
let's give him his money so he can start playing like
Give him his money.
he deserves it because he's not been the Zach Ertz of past thus far this season here. All right, so without further ado, let's raise our drink and get this thing started. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
Some good water right
And
there,
we're
boy.
chasing it with the cool, refreshing, as always, Stella Artois. If you haven't tried Stella Artois, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But anyway, here we go. All right, look, man. Um, we talked about making this guy, what was his name? Claypool. And I had my eye
Yeah.
on him too. He had some talk in the draft too. But we didn't
Mhm.
choose him. We chose someone else, and
Nope.
that's okay. But we allowed this guy to look like Jerry Rice on Sunday. Um, and that was not
Terrell
good.
Owens.
Yeah, Terrell Owens. Yeah, you're
You
right.
look like Terrell
And,
Owens.
and it's what did us in. Ultimately, him
By itself.
he's what did us in. I mean, even when we were attempting to come back, we were right there. And Jim Schwartz is just not having a good year. just not having a good year. I look at the replay, and you could see that that Nate Jerry is covering this guy in the slot, and this guy has killed us all game. And I mean, everybody can see it. We can see it on TV. I know you could see it, Pat, and I know you probably was
Stevie
going
Wonder.
crazy when
Stevie
you
Wonder can
saw
see it.
that he is covering Claypool in the slot. Why can't we call a timeout right there? That's
You know
first of
what?
all. Why couldn't he call a timeout?
Well, I go down to the breakdown of this play. It was about 4 different analysts, so-called analysts, that broke this play down. From the guy from Florida, I forget his name right now, to our very own Chef Joyner, to many other analysts. They broke this play down, and the one thing about this play is that they ran that same formation about 4 different times in the game. And those 4 other times that they ran that same formation, we were able to stop it for a minimal gain. All right. So against that formation, when they went empty set with four wide and 1 tight end in the game, we played a zone to one side in some sort of man to quarters defense that we played. In this situation, Gary didn't get the call. He didn't understand that somebody was telling him they have switched that play up. You have a receiver that was killing you on the outside move into the inside slot where normally it's occupied by that running back or that tight end this whole game. Now you have the receiver that's beating you there in the slot, and you're not paying attention. No, first and foremost, before we go even farther, the first thing on that defense is that if you're a linebacker and you played linebacker in this game, right? You should know the personnel that you're looking at. You should see and say, you know what, this is an odd formation. This is an odd there. You should be communicating with your nickel back and your safety.
Can I say
Now,
something?
let me finish. I know
Let him
I know you're
finish,
getting
Shell.
it.
Let him
All right,
finish.
I'm okay. Go ahead.
Now, McLeod, number 2. McLeod just saw that something was off with that and slid over instead of playing that quarter or playing that half, slid over and played that third in the middle of the field to stop them from having that seam route. That seam route would have been wide open regardless. But you got a guy in Nathan Garrett who is 26 of 26, meaning the quarterback thrown his way has 100% completion percentage. So on those 2 guys, it's on those 2 guys. I know we get into Jim Schwartz and say, you know what, you got to do better. You should have called a timeout. But when you're on the field and that game action going on, you guys got to recognize it.
All right. What do you have to say, Shell?
I that defense right there, when you go empty, right? When you have what we call zero,
Mhm.
it's basically it's called zero. What I call is it's called a zero lock.
Mhm.
All right. So the outside corner, his responsibility is three hard read steps and read. When that outside corner, when you as an outside corner on either side, when you look up and your regular guy's not in there, at that point you're supposed to tell the inside guy either to switch or tell the linebackers to slide out because you're empty. So it's the defensive line job to get pressure, but everybody else has to drop back almost like a cloud coverage.
You,
That didn't occur. That didn't
yeah,
occur.
you're right. You're
If
right.
you watch that play, watch the outside corner. He never takes his read steps.
Well,
He never
All
takes
right,
his
let me
read
just
steps.
let me just interject right there because you guys are,
All right.
seem to be frozen on the program. I just want to check with the crowd. Can you guys hear them? I can hear them still, but you guys are a little frozen on the screen there. Let me know if you guys can still hear the Sandlin boys. But I agree with you that was. I understand, Pat. You're saying that in the game speed, maybe it wasn't totally on Jim Schwartz. Uh, that maybe he
That's
expected
what I
that
was
his
saying
defense
too.
or his
The
safety to
corners
make the adjustment.
adjustment.
McLeod,
okay.
he totally blew that coverage. They should have recognized the personnel on the field, and well, I can't blame Jerry too much because he can't cover that. That's not his
Yeah,
specialty.
he
That's
can't
not
cover it.
what he does. He can't cover Carpool. I mean, Claypool. He cannot. So it was up to the safety. Somebody to recognize that, yo, I need to help this guy out because we got the guy that's killing us all day being covered by the guy who can't cover people. So that was a problem right
Yeah.
there. Now we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about in the game, but that was one of the key plays that really killed our momentum in coming back,
Mhm.
along with the missed field goal. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, listen, that was so. If you go back, I looked at that play many times. Nicky Roby Coleman was pointing to Nate Gary, backing into Nate Gary to move to the middle. He basically said move that he showed him where he's going. Nate Gary didn't move an ounce. He didn't even look his direction. He was so I don't know what he was looking for. What was in his head. But in that situation, you got to be self aware of your
I'm
of
gonna tell
all the
you what he's
players.
looking at. He was like, "I know they don't expect me to cover this guy, so it's got to be somebody behind me that's going to cover
Oh
this guy
man.
because I know they don't expect me to stay with this guy." That's probably what's going through his head. I know it's something else going on here because I know they do not expect me to run with this guy, and it was a easy toss and
We
catch
yeah.
play, and that broke our backs right there. Um, One of the positive things that happened, and I saw somebody in the room that we said we should toast this guy, and that was our receiver. Um,
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
what's his name? That I'm
Travis
looking for.
Fulgham.
Travis
Fro
Fulgham.
Yes.
Fulgham had a
Fulgham.
Fulgham.
outstanding,
Yes.
Fulgham.
yo. And I and I,
Fulgham.
I I really feel good for that guy because he had an outstanding camp too. He had an outstanding camp too. And
He
this,
did. He
and this
did.
is what
He did.
kills me. I know that the politics of draft picks gets involved in all that, but sometimes you have to play the players that are playing good. And I know that training camp is one thing. All right, that's the end of the quarter. We're gonna end this quarter, and I'll finish my thought on the other side. So that's the end of the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. So, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots, which we do at the beginning of each quarter. And this show is divided into four of them, just like a real game. So, when we do a shot, you do a shot. I am partaking in the Crown Royal. This is my last shot. I only do a half when we do the during the week show. I only do a half. So, I'm going to finish this and do this shot here. And my partner over there, Pat, he is practicing sober October, so he's not doing anything. He's doing shots of water, and Shell is over there doing 1800. So, which makes this show is going to be very interesting in the second half because he usually get he's after this shot right here, like he's done right now.
Yeah,
Now,
we
so
go
as
we
soon
gonna
as he
switch
does
cameras
this
'cause
shot, it's
we
about
gonna
to
switch
be
cameras because we have to.
Oh, here you go,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
We got
It's
we got
about to be
switch
on
cameras,
after
bro.
that. So you guys, let me know what you're let me know what you're doing out there, and let's begin the second
Oh
quarter,
man.
Pat.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, so here we go. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there as we let's toast to Fulgham because
How about
the
that?
rest of the team, yeah, Fulgham. Let's toast to him. Shout out to him. Great job. And I'll finish my thought as soon as we do this. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. So this guy, right, had a good training camp. And what happened? Okay, there you go. Oh, my fault. You took yourself off. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
All right, so this guy had a good training camp, and I know all training camp performances don't translate to the regular season, but sometimes you have to give the guy that's playing the best the opportunity, and he did play. There were reports coming out of training camp that he had a good training camp, but even with the great training camp, he still found himself on the practice squad. And if it was not for the
He did
injuries
something.
to our wide receiving core,
He did
we
something.
would not have even seen this performance
He
by
finished.
him. Not only this week, but last week he caught the game-winning touchdown, and this week he followed it up with over 150 yards receiving. So he's the real deal. I'm not saying that he's the next coming to Jerry Rice or nothing like that, but I'm happy that they finally given him his opportunity and he's making the most of it. He basically fulfilled the Alshon Jeffrey role on this team. He's a tall guy. He can go up and get the ball like a possession receiver. He has a little. He gets some separation. I mean, with the he can make the contested catches, which is always good. So that was a real positive coming out of this game. To see him perform the way he performed. Another positive coming out of this game was the performance of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz played a lot better in this game here. His throws, he was more accurate this game here, and that is a real positive sign going forward. The only good thing about this, I'm talking about the 1-3-1 record. It makes me sick to my stomach to look after 5 weeks and see that we're 1-3-1. But the good thing is our division sucks so bad that we still have an opportunity if we can become good enough for the rest of the seasons. So at some point, if we can pull it all together, we are still in the race to win the division. Now, if we continue to play this way, you don't want to win the division and go into the playoffs playing the way we're playing now. But if some kind of way we can turn it around and be hot at the end of the season, this division is wide open. Anybody can win it. As you saw, Dak Prescott went down for the Dallas Cowboys, broke his ankle. Well wishes to him and all that, but that makes them more vulnerable and opens up this division even more. So we still have opportunity to win this division. So I'm not totally giving up, but I am greatly disappointed at a 1-3-1 record now. Lane Johnson is not going to be playing this week. That's not going to bode well for us. Another positive that I would say is that Mailata is still playing good. He's still holding down his position on the left side, the LT spot, left tackle spot, taking over for Jason Peters. He looks like a player right now, and he did a great job against a bona fide pass rusher this past week. So that's there. I'm just trying to pull some positives out of what happened on Sunday because the outcome of the game is not what we were looking for, and our record is not what we would like it to be at 1-3-1. But being the trooper that I am, I'm trying to find the silver lining in this cloud here. Let me go to some comments out here, see what you guys are saying. Bill Crow says that kid Fulgham seems to be the real deal. Yes, he does. And Carlson was more accurate, so he's giving this guy a chance. And he seems to have some trust in this kid, so that bodes well too. Sunday was a little bit of a flashback to the last 4 games of last season when he took a bunch of no-name receivers and he got the job done. And He almost got the job done this week, but the defense kind of let us down with that touchdown to Claypool late in the fourth quarter. Outside of that, putting up 29 points is nothing to be sneezed at. You can't sneeze at that, especially with the way we have been going or playing up until that point. That was a nice offensive game. I do question why we abandoned the run. Um, and I understand we were down 17 points, so we had to go to the pass. But I don't think that it was a point where we couldn't run the ball. Um, you know, what's my man name? Miles Sanders had a 74-yard run, and I forget. I peeked at the game because I was working. I peeked at the game, and and at one point, I think it was in the second quarter or maybe early third quarter, he had 11 rushes for 80 yards. And then the next time I got to peek at the score, it might have been maybe a quarter later, and he still had 11 rushes for 80 yards. And I'm like, why is he not getting the ball anymore? What happened? I know on that one play he got 74 yards, which means he had 10 rushes for 6 yards. I understand that, but I don't think you abandoned the run that quickly, or you know what I'm saying. So Doug Peterson is still to me. Still, he did a better job. Don't get me wrong. 29 points is 29 points. You can't sneeze at that. But I don't think he is at his mid-season form in calling plays. He did a better job. He did do a better job. Some more comments out there as my co-hosts are getting ready. Jeremiah Adams says it's time to let some of the old out like Jackson, Peterson, Alshon, and I hate to say it, but Ertz, let the young dogs play. I agree with that. Everett. I don't know about Ertz. I don't think Ertz is done. I think Ertz has some other issues going on. Um, Let me go to Sulema. Sulema, first of all, thank you for tuning in, and I hope your surgery went well today. You just woke up. You just woke up from surgery, and you decided to spend your time with
Oh,
us on
thank you.
Eagles
I
Talk.
hope you did pretty
We were
well.
praying. I was praying for you, Sulema. So I'm happy. I
Yeah.
hope everything went well, and I'm happy that you're here to join us, and I'm happy that you're on this side, and I hope everything went just like you needed to go. Uh, and Everett says Eagles need money to sign O lineman next year. Peters will be gone. Kelsey will be gone too. I hope not. I hope Kelsey gives us one more year. Please, Kelsey, don't leave us without us having a legitimate backup for you. Because if he's not a Hall of Famer, he's definitely an all-time Eagle great. So he said we need depth, save the money, pay Ertz another year in the future, or draft another tight end because Eagles have a good record of drafted tight ends. Um, I agree with that. Brian Bullock says Bill Crow, yeah, he seems to have potential though. That ball in the end zone, he would have ended up out of the bounds most likely anyways. But at least we know he can get down the field and get some separation. I hope you're saying separation, not delegation. Okay, all right. So okay,
Oh
yeah, he
man.
did correct it. He corrected. Um, Hope you're okay, Eagles fan. Okay, so I was just talking about Fulgham. I was just talking about some of the positives. I guess you guys heard me. So some of the positive was Carson Wentz threw better this Sunday. He didn't have a lot of errant passes as he had in because the weeks leading up to Sunday, Carson looked horrible. I mean, he was just missing. He was missing. He was not on. He was not in the flow, and he seemed to be more accurate this week. And I hope that this is the turning point for him, and I hope he continues that as we go into the rest of the season because we still have some grueling games on our schedule coming up. But we have a division. We're in a division that just totally sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Our
I
division
totally
is.
agree.
I,
It's
I I
worse.
think I think you win a division that's 6-10 or 6-9-1. Like it's kind of ridiculous that we have to resort to that. But with that being said, um, Carson Wentz, this game was more or less like the Miami game last year. Like I told you last year, he looked much like Carson Wentz this game than he did the whole rest of the season. He was hitting Fulgham, and Travis looks like our number one receiver. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, Alshon and Deshaun can come back, but Travis right now got the hot hand, man. He has the hot hand for us.
And to talk a little more about like I said as we talked earlier, um, the only way you can beat a bully is to fight a bully, and we were being aggressive in the run game, and then all of a sudden we forgot that we can run the ball.
Mhm.
He Gruden, John Gruden said a long time ago, a 2 yard run is a good run. And the reason you say that in the game of football is because you keep the other team honest. If they know you're going to throw every play, they pin their ears back and they just come get you. But when you keeping them honest, that one missed tackle that might be a 60-yard touchdown. So you gotta consistently run the ball. You gotta throw some type of mix in there just to keep them off their just to keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally do agree with that.
All
Oh,
right,
and
so
talk about Malata too. Malata is a man amongst boys, man. Once he gets his kick step down completely 100%, I see him being a Pro Bowler, man. Like he is strong, yo.
Yeah, we
He
talk
is
about that in third
strong.
quarter because I got a whole analysis of this guy.
yeah, I touched on him a little bit, but I thought he had a good game also. Damn, did I start the? No, I did not. Okay, all right. So anyway, all right. So yeah, Malata, I think he had another solid game, in replacing JT. I mean JP,
JP.
and that's encouraging because we all know his history. He had never played football, let alone professional football. He had never played any type of football, not little league. He came from the land of down under Australia. He played rugby, but he never played
Rugby player, yeah.
American football.
Rugby.
And here he is over here 3-4 years in, and he's performing admirably against the best talent in the world in the game of American football. So hats goes off to him, and I give him I say let him play even when Jason Peters is healthy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree
because
with
we're
that.
not going to have Jason Peters next year. Come on, let's be realistic. We're not going to have Jason Peters next year, and we need to be finding the left tackle of the future. I don't know if Diller is that guy, but
I don't
let Malata get his reps. Let him take his lumps, so to speak. And he looks like he has something there. It looks like we have something there with him.
Yeah, I mean,
I
listen,
agree.
he did get beat twice, and he got beat badly. But listen, as a tackle, especially a guy that hasn't really played football, you went against one of the better pass rushers in the NFL. Bug Dupree is not somebody to say, "Oh, all right, he's just a guy." No,
Nah.
he's
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 top of the
him
heap.
and T.J. Watt make that defense go.
Yeah, he's top of the heap.
Stephen
man.
Tuitt in the middle, but he gets that push. But Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt make that defense go, and they're right there with us among sacks because of those guys. And he did an
Not right there
admirable
with
job.
us. They're past us. Come
Well,
on
yeah,
now. I mean,
they're
like,
past
come on.
us. Yeah.
We
After
can't. We
this,
can't.
after this game,
They had 5
I know,
sacks.
Yeah,
but
after
no. Our stats are padded by the 8 sack performance we had against one of the worst
Hey, the
offensive
numbers
lines
are
in the
the
game.
numbers are the
Numbers
numbers.
are the numbers, but we have to look at realistically. We have to look at realistically because Ben Roethlisberger at no time did he look like he was under duress in this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And then you can if you're going to boast about having a defensive line that has all these sacks, then you also have to talk about the fact that this defensive line did not make Ben Roethlisberger sweat in any way or form on Sunday. This guy was back there
Yeah.
taking pictures. He was doing
was
whatever.
taking pictures.
He, I mean, he was. Come on. I mean, this is Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, we could, if we got a little bit of pressure on him, we could have had some more success.
he's
This
going
guy
down.
was very. He was very comfortable. He was back there like he was in his family room, just chilling and eating some buffalo wings. He was that comfortable on Sunday, and we cannot continue to face quarterbacks and let them be that comfortable where they got their
I
feet up
agree.
and they're eating buffalo wings on Sunday while our pass rush is coming at them.
I
I
agree.
agree with you.
I agree 100% with the passion that you're spitting out right now. I agree with that because no way, shape, or form should this guy should be able to look around, and say, "Oh no, I want you to go. I don't want to throw to you. I want to throw
Yeah,
to this guy."
he's
Let
doing
me
all his
sit there and
reads.
think about it. Oh, hey, wave at his mom and then throw the ball. Like, yeah, I totally agree. We got right now these pass rushers that we got ain't it. That ain't it, man. And it goes to show you what we came into the season that we already knew. We thought we had something with these guys. We thought Derek Barnett would be a breakout.
No.
He's been Brandon Graham has always been he's
No.
been consistent.
Nah,
Brandon
Brandon Beast brings the heat sometimes.
He's been
I'm not saying this is one
But
of
he
his
hasn't had a 10
signature.
season since he's been here. All right, let's be real.
Come
If we're gonna be real, we're gonna talk about our team. We're gonna talk about the ins and outs about our team, about pass rushes. If we're looking for an elite pass rusher, we're looking for that elite pass rusher to at least have over 10 plus sacks, right? His best season was 9.5. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Brandon Graham, but he's not it.
I'm gonna say this before
All
the
right, we're
quarter.
going to end this. I'll let you finish your thought on the other side,
All right,
Shell.
all right.
But we're going to end
And
this quarter
that's
here.
the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching the Eagles talk. Let me go to some comments before we start the third quarter. Bill said we need to run the ball more. I believe we will have better success if we can take pressure off of Wentz. I put your comment up there, Jeremiah, but I didn't have a chance to speak on it. He said, in response to me saying that Ben Roethlisberger was comfortable back there, he said, well, Dark Knight, he was getting the ball out quick. And he was. And they know that to offset any kind of pressure our defensive line might be putting on them to get rid of the ball quickly. Although our defensive line is not, they have the numbers, but they've not been as effective as we thought. Teams come into the game, that's their number one priority. Like, all right, they do respect the names that we have on the defensive line, so they are scheming to like, all right, we're not going to let these guys get in a rhythm or disrupt anything. So we're going to draw up a game plan where we're getting the ball out our quarterback's hands quickly. And so I agree with that. They did do that, but and you know, I mean, it still comes down to we have some big names. The biggest chunk of our defensive payroll is going to that defensive line, and I don't know if they are producing up to what we expect from them or the money. They're not producing. We're not getting value for our money. Let's put it that way. We have
Not even
Hargrave.
close.
We have Fletcher Cox, who doesn't look like Fletcher Cox of the past. He may be the second or third best defensive tackle in the league, but he's no Aaron Donald.
No,
He's not showing any type of disruption
No
as he
flash.
did in the past. No flash right now,
Flash.
and Malik Jackson. So these guys, I'm not saying they're over the hill, but are we getting what we expected from them? We're not. So uh, Swartz has got to draw up some blitzes. He's got to do something a little bit more aggressive. I know his philosophy is just getting pressure with the front four, but that's not happening right now. So you gotta identify somebody that can blitz in that second seven and get somebody coming at the quarterback. We got to do it. We have to do it if we're going to get any kind of pressure.
Let me say this. I was wanting to say on the other side, you gotta develop your guys and build them through the draft. All right, all the teams that are successful, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Ravens, now the Chiefs and 49ers, they do everything through the draft. That's how you develop your team. We're not successful in the draft. That's why we're not being successful on the football.
Who's in charge of the draft though?
Howie Roseman.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's start this third quarter. Let's start this third quarter.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Although I started off the show, I didn't want to talk about the Eagles. I really just wanted to talk about the Union because that's the only football team. That's the only football team in the Philadelphia area that's producing the way we expect them to. Because our professional American football team is coming up very, very light in the ass right now. So anyway, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots or beer, Stella Artois, remember. And this week I was partaking in the Crown Royale. I'm out. I'm tapped out. We're going to let Shell continue on. Pat is practicing sober October, but I can't do that in October because my birthday is coming up. My birthday is on Tuesday, so I'm going to be celebrating from here to you know how we do. We celebrate our whole month. Forget that. Forget that one day or anything. It used to be we celebrate the day. Then we get to a point where we used to celebrate the week. Like, it's my birthday week. Well, now we're at a point where we're celebrating the whole month. It's my birthday month. And I can't do the October sober thing anyway. So
We do
anyway.
that. Always say happy birthday to you. I gotta say happy birthday to my wife too, because her birthday is Sunday. So
Yes, that's right. Mrs. Sandlin's birthday is Sunday. So we have a lot of cool Libras. Well, every Libra is cool because Libra is the coolest sign in the
we
zodiac. So
gotta get y'all out the
that's-
way so Scorpio season can be.
That's whatever. But anyway, all right. So let's begin this third quarter, man. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
We're drinking a lot of water.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday to Dark Knight in advance. Thank you, Everett. We appreciate that. So finish your thought on
Yeah.
what you were saying.
Like I'm saying,
Shel.
we gotta build our team through the draft. As we look back and think about the teams that were successful during the Andy era, all of those teams we had the defensive guys we had during the draft, Trotter, Sheldon Brown, you know what I mean, like Tito, like all those guys we had were guys that we picked up during the draft that we developed and we gave them opportunity. First of all, we're not developing. The only person on this team that is developing his athletes is Deuce. He's the only person on the team that's developed. The other coaches suck.
I mean, you're right up until now because our running backs are not killing the game outside of Miles Sanders.
They don't get opportunity. They don't give an opportunity. They don't get an opportunity. They don't get
that's
opportunity.
not their fault. That's not their fault. I agree with you there. That's Doug Peterson needing to incorporate them more in the game plan.
We talk about new fundamentals of football and the spread game. Man, I watched 3 NFL games this past weekend where they went I formation and 2 games where they put defensive linemen in the backfield as fullbacks to get first downs. It's still punch people in the mouth football.
Well, that's not going to happen with Dougie P. You need to know that. That ain't happening.
You already know our philosophy here. Dougie P. His best runs are out of the shotgun. Let's be real. That's not his philosophy.
Yeah.
His philosophy is based.
I hope his arm's strong because he's about to be washing cars.
He's not going to wash cars.
Yeah, he's going to be out here if we go 8-8 or worse. But no, he's not running the ball. He's not running unless he's going out for an early morning jog. That's the only time he's running. I'm telling you.
I gotta give some kudos. We do not develop our talent. If you want to go look at the guys that we release, go look at LJ Ford. He's an amazing linebacker for Baltimore.
Yeah.
And we're about to play him. Go look at Rodney. What's his name? Sidney Jones. He's a heck of a corner now in Jacksonville now. Rasul Douglas. He's a heck of a corner
Good point, Pat.
We do not develop our athletes.
When I said with these guys, and I said Sidney Jones is going to be my breakout athlete. I said that in the beginning of the season when we started talking about our breakout athlete.
So did I.
I said Sidney Jones. I said he has the ability, after watching him,
breakout
he has the
athlete
ability to be
for
a
another team.
shutdown cornerback for us.
Now
Now he's going to be a shutdown cornerback for another team. Rasul Douglas should have been moved to safety because he's so big and he has the ability to play that second position like a Malcolm Jenkins. Or if you need him to play corner, he does a decent job. Our defensive coach doesn't develop these guys. That's a terrible thing.
That's a terrible thing. And to that point there, and I was going to bring that up too. Yeah, we let people go, and they wind up being stars elsewhere. Why couldn't they be stars here? And the only person I can point to is that the position coach or the coordinator of those guys when they were here. If it's Sidney Jones is playing so much better where he is now, if Rasul Douglas is playing so much better where they are now, then it's on Schwartz for not recognizing or putting them in the best position for them to succeed. If they're succeeding under another defensive coordinator, that means that defensive coordinator identified what their strengths were and are playing them and teaching them and coaching them up to play good in their system. So you have the blame goes back to the Jim Schwartz. You have a guy out here who's getting burnt. You know what I mean? Mills, that's my man. I love Mills. I think he's better suited in the safety position than the cornerback position. But you stuck with this guy and you let 2 young guys. And I know it's just a snapshot. It's only 5 weeks or whatever. We have to look at the entirety of the season before we can give a accurate grade. But to look at a snapshot of what's happening so far, Sidney Jones had an incredible interception this week, diving interception this week. Rasul Douglas is being graded as one of the highest cornerbacks this year. And these are 2 people that we just discarded and threw them away. So Howie needs to look at this. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Not to mention Nelson Aguilar.
You only got 8 catches, but you know what? Those 8 catches been something.
Yes, they have been something. So Howie, this should give you a little bit of a reprieve here of us criticizing your drafts and stuff. We have cut some of your draft picks who have gone to other places and been successful.
He
So you
sucked.
might want to look at your defensive coordinator or whatever and say, look, I got these guys and they are good. What the hell are you doing with them? Because they're not good here. What the hell are you doing with them?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like our developing of our athletes is piss poor. Like we're not developing our athletes, and when we do have talent, we suppress them to the practice squad. Like we have talented guys, but we put them to the practice squad for the older
Sean
guys that
Sean
think they can
Bradley
do
should have been a
something.
starting Sam linebacker.
Like Travis Fulgham has been on the practice squad for forever, but he outplayed any of the stars that we have. Like I understand Jalen Rager's
The,
injured, but when he comes back, you know what, uh,
the best
Alshon shouldn't be in
the
there.
best guy plays. That's
You
and that's
you're
and that's
100% right.
and that's one thing. That's one thing I like about Tomlin, and one thing I like about Belichick. The best guy plays. I don't care if they're a first round pick from Ohio State or they came from Jackson State at HBCU. They're the
I
best
love
guy
that.
plays.
I love what you're saying right there. That's the point I was trying to make earlier. Like these guys, like we've had reports that Greg Ward was doing great in previous training camps, and he wasn't getting his shot. It wasn't until everybody got hurt and he came in at the end of
Yeah, the best
at the
guy
end of the
plays.
season last year and played his way into a starting slot position, slot wide receiver position this year. Why did it take that long? Because of the politics of draft picks, because you picked a guy like JJ over him,
Yeah,
and
you
so you give
He
him the
makes me
shot. He
sick.
no you
sucks.
He
I
you had
mean,
makes
Mac
if this
Hollins.
guy,
You had Mac
every
Hollins.
time Harry
Mac
every time.
Hollins, yes,
Oh my
Mac
God!
Hollins, come
Come
on,
on,
man.
man. Oh my God!
Play the guys that are performing, man. Give them a shot.
And you know
If they
Metcalf.
put in that much
Metcalf put up
work,
the game-winning touchdown this weekend too.
Hey, we going
I'm
yeah.
if
sorry,
they
man.
put in that much work to be successful, play the guys that are winning. You can't play a guy based on potential and he's not showing you that potential. If Fulgham is in training camp outperforming JJ, why do you have him on the practice squad and JJ's on the roster? That makes no sense to me. None. Although don't let me back up a little bit. JJ did have a good a good training camp, so maybe that's why. But in a lot of positions, a lot of situations, we've seen the practice squad players have better training camps than some of the drafted higher players, and they are the ones that regulated to the practice squad. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me. And then only when everybody gets hurt do they get their opportunity, and they still perform. Let's just cut out the middleman and play the best player. Play the best player.
The
That's
best.
it.
My college coach said something to me, Coach Luke, when I was at Clarion. He said, "Potential, potential, potential is like assholes. Everybody has some. It's about what you do in the weight room, the film room, and the field. Potential don't mean nothing. And if a guy's doing what he needs to do on the field and in the film room, he should play.
You're right.
It doesn't
You're right.
matter.
The thing about I'm gonna say right real quick. No wide receiver in this league named JJ has been successful. JJ Strokes suck. He's supposed to be the second coming of Jerry
Yeah.
Rice. JJ Ortega Whiteside sucks.
Oh my! Every time Metcalf catches something,
We
I
need
throw up
JJ
my
from
mouth.
Good Times. JJ from Good Times would have been good.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. He would have been dynamite. But look at that comment I have on the screen. Everett says trade the entire coaching staff for Frank Wright. I'm with that. I'm with
That's
that.
like a
I
happy
would. You know what?
ending.
If I had the
I would agree
power,
with that, but
if I had the power, that's exactly what I would do. I would trade all of the coaching staff. Maybe save for Deuce because I like Deuce. Save for Deuce. I would trade everybody for Frank Wright, man. I'm
you know
sorry.
what?
I'm sorry. He
I
was the key to our Super Bowl.
yeah.
I will never back down from that statement. I like you, Dougie P, because you held the title of head coach when we won our first Super Bowl. So I'll give you credit for that. But I still give a utmost a lot of credit and ton of respect to Frank Reich because we've seen things change drastically once he's left the building.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, even though I don't think I would trade the whole staff, like you said, like the
Keep
special
Deuce.
teams coach and
Keep
Deuce.
Deuce. Get rid of everybody else.
Look
But
what JT said. JJ can't catch VD in a whole house in Vegas.
yo, I know about the end of this quarter, but we need to subject JJ to waivers when they bring back Alshon and Deshaun, and they gonna have that. Got to get rid of player instead of let Casey Toohill go, a promising young draft pick that you picked up. Now he's with the freaking Washington football team. You should let JJ go and see what happens.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, thank you. Thanks for watching Eagles Talk. We are discussing this past week and the state of the Philadelphia Eagles. This fourth quarter, we're going to talk about our upcoming matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. It doesn't get any easier. It doesn't
No,
get
it
any
does.
easier.
No, it does not.
It really does not.
Out
This
of the
will
oven
be
into the frying pan.
really it does. It does. It comes down to that. And woo, we have to face the reigning MVP. Lamar Jackson and a strong
Number three.
Baltimore
Number three
Ravens
defense in the
team,
NFL.
number 3 defense, and
Whoa.
I guess it does bode well the fact that we put up 29 points, and maybe Carson Wentz is getting into that rhythm that he ended the last season with, because we need him. Nothing works without Carson Wentz being on point and in rhythm and accurate with his throws. Nothing happens outside of that. There's some other factors that go into it. Yes, we need Dougie P to call a flawless game, so to speak, and we need Jim Schwartz to scheme up a defense that is going to put some pressure on the quarterback and just stop the other team. Let's just slow them down, because our points per game is horrible, and that's the most important defensive stat to me. I always say that points per game, and our points per game is not helping us out in any sense. It's not helping us out. 38 points we gave up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and although they're undefeated, they really haven't played anybody. And I hate to say it, but even after our game, we found out that they still haven't played anybody because we lost. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? They still have not faced a team. Their cumulative opponent record is like 2-11 and something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so come on, let's do better here. We have an opportunity. I know that the odds are against us. This is like our fourth week or third or fourth week in a row where we are underdogs by more than a touchdown. When's the last time that has happened?
Been underdogs every game except the Washington game.
Yes, we've been the underdog every game. I mean, a touchdown or more. That's not, that's saying a lot. That's saying that, along with our record, those lines are saying that we suck. We're trash truck juice right now.
Bengals. Who was an underdog in the Bengals?
We was plus what? Plus 3?
Something like that.
It was plus 3. Does that count?
Yeah.
Man, we
we
are
lost-
trash.
we
Man,
tied.
let's do this shot of water.
All right, okay, come on. Let's start this fourth quarter here.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans. Us, we're Eagles fans. We're not broadcast journalists. We're Eagles fans for Eagles fans. That's you. You are Eagles fans out there, in case you didn't know that. If you are tuned in right now, you are Eagle fans. So we are the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We're the show that doesn't talk at you. We talk with you. We include you in the conversation. We'll pull your comments out, and I have to go back because I skipped one of them. But somebody says something about Archie Manning, the next Manning brother coming along.
Oh, that's like
how he look
yeah.
in Eagles green. But when he asked us our thoughts, and my thoughts on that is that it's not going to happen. I think they're not ready to give up on Carson Wentz just yet. And even if they were entertaining the thought, I think that they have the quarterback that they would hand the reins to already on the roster, and that would be Jalen Hurts. Even if he's not totally ready now, I think that they got him as a security blanket, and that, I mean, come on, we wouldn't even. Is he even going to be in the draft next year?
No, he got about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he got about 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
now in
I'm
4
gonna
or
ask you.
5
I'm gonna ask
years,
y'all
if we
something
still
in the next
suck
quarter.
like that, yeah, maybe we will be
We stuck again.
in the running.
I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all something in the next quarter.
Oh, we're in the next quarter now. Let's do the
All right,
shot.
we're in the next quarter. So, all right, so we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So, Shell is trying to hurry up and get to a shot to 1800, and Pat has put up the shot glass that we got from JT as a gift on the first week of the season with our logo on it. Shot glass with Eagles talk on it. We still appreciate that, JT. But everybody out there, let me know what you're drinking out there, and we're going to start this fourth quarter.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Oh, we started the fourth quarter. Okay, I only had 2 shots. All right, let me give a shout out to my home cigar lounge that I belong to, and that is the Cigar Sessions in Middletown, Delaware. Fabulous place. We'll be coming there live soon enough. They just opened up less than a month ago, and it's a beautiful lounge. And I can't wait till we broadcast live from there. But shout out to Pat and everybody at the Cigar Sessions in
Oh, thank you.
Middletown.
Appreciate it. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
nice shot glass. Somebody says. All right, Jeremy. Jeremy Andrews says, and this is a comment. I do believe our defense can be better with better defensive schemes and let Jerry sit on the bench. You give the same defense to our great defensive coach Johnson, I bet they produce better. I definitely believe they would do better, but they would definitely have better linebackers if it was Jim Johnson that was calling, that was the head of that defense there. He would not devalue or undervalue the position of linebacker, and I think that we would be better. But if I had to say, you
That's
give
the
him the
general
same
general
personnel
team.
that Jim Schwartz has, yes, Jim Johnson probably would
Oh,
do a lot
most
better.
definitely. Listen, we're about to play a Baltimore Ravens team that run a lot. In a situation where you have to try to contain the
They play
fastest athlete,
bully ball.
one of the fastest athlete in football, period, you don't put your slow linebackers out there because you know what happened is you come out with a 5-man defensive front and you have nothing but the rush to be defensive backs. You get your safety Will Parks back this game. Go with it. You can't
Oh
be
yeah,
worse
we
than what you
get
have.
Will Parks back. That's a
You
good.
know?
I'm glad you brought that up. We do get
Yeah.
Will Parks back, and Will Parks is very versatile. He could possibly play that Malcolm Jenkins role on this defense, especially with the fact that we had to move Jalen Mills back to cornerback. So we need a quasi linebacker safety back there, and he has all the tools and talent to fill that role. So I'm looking forward to getting him back in the fold. Hopefully something works here. We need Jim. We need Jim. Jim, come on. We need you to turn it around. Please. I mean, this season is far from over, and we still have. And I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys out there in the room, and I'm gonna ask you guys right now, and I want you guys to answer individually. Do you think that this team is talented enough to turn it around and be a good team?
You gotta use your athletes. I'm gonna say this. Everybody see the Saints game the other night, Monday night. Just saw the
Yeah.
Saints game. They
Hmm.
took, listen, they took Drew Brees out of the game. Hall of Fame going to Drew Brees out of the game and put an athlete in the game. Third and short, second and short, fourth and short to get the first down. They put him in on the goal line. They were 4th and 1. They put him in and they went in the end zone. We got Jalen Hurts. Why aren't we doing that?
We use it. Well, first and foremost, before you go on a tab tangent, we have used Jalen Hurts in those positions.
We haven't used him enough.
We have used Jalen Hurts. If you watch this film, this past game, the 2 times he got in, we got a first down. Carson Wentz is a big quarterback. He can launch and get that 1 yard that we need. We put him in.
Why not use your athletes?
If you let me finish, I can tell you.
Well,
why.
we have an athlete already at
athlete.
cornerback anyway. So
See,
I
that's
mean,
the-
our
that's-
situation is a little different than the New Orleans
it's
Saints.
much
They
different.
have a Hall of Fame quarterback who is starting to show signs of a regression here. I mean, his age is starting to catch up to him. So in positions where they can put their younger, more athletic quarterback in there and not have a 41-year-old in there that they can't run the ball with him,
No,
they
you
put
can't
in the
run the
younger
ball.
guy. But our franchise quarterback is pretty athletic and young at the same time. He's not been on on target. I would say that, but he is not. He's not regressing to the point where he can't make the throws or he can't do the plays that
I think
Jalen
he's
Hurts
coming to his
does.
own. I think he's coming to his own right now, and he's not that guy. Listen, last year, the year before that, since he's been here, he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the red zone. One of the better quarterbacks, and actually, I
Mhm.
think in the top 5 or top 3 of red zone efficiency when it comes down to it. This year, yes, is a struggle for him right now, but you know what? I like Jalen Hurts with some plays. We can use him in certain situations, some trick gadget plays. He's out. He's a good young man. He's an athlete, but so is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is an athlete,
All
and
right.
he moves around in the pocket. He's a better thrower when you got him on the run. We all
All
know
right,
that.
hold
He's a
on. Let me
better
go there.
thrower on the run.
I'm just curious about this. You know, I told you we don't talk at you, we talk with you. So, Bill, please explain this to me. Y'all ever heard of a jetpack? What the heck is a jetpack? Please tell me.
So you
I'm
put it
waiting
back
for
and
your
you
Back,
response.
fly with it. Yeah,
What is it? You guys know?
So-
Because I don't know.
yeah, yeah. You put it on your back and you
you
fly.
fly.
They got two of them.
That
They got
that type
one,
of jetpack, I thought it
one
was a
with
drink.
gas,
You
and they
know
got
me.
one.
See here's my
They got
mind. I'm
one with
thinking it's
water.
a drink that I never heard of. What's a jetpack? Because I've heard of a trash can and all
Like
that.
a
Yeah, I thought
Boilermaker
a
or something like
jetpack might have been a
that.
drink.
Yeah.
If it's not a drink, then I apologize. I'm like, what the heck is a jetpack? Yeah, I've heard of a jetpack, but I thought it was something different, like
Nah.
something like a drink or something like that. So tell me what a jetpack is, Bill. Let me go to some more comments. Jeremiah says we will have to play containment defense this Sunday. Sulema says maybe we find out what talent we have on the bench and use them. Hopefully, Al Griffith says I agree. Hurts should be used at least 5 times a game in different ways. Dante thinking of drinks. Sulema said Dante thinking of drinks. Anthony Ade says Doug is clueless and Sean Payton knows his shit because he has been around Hall of Fame coaches. I will give you that. And Sean Payton may be a Hall of Fame coach himself. I think he's a offensive genius. That's just my perspective or my opinion of Sean Payton. He's a good coach. He's a good
there
coach.
may be there may be a
KT
change.
says
Go ahead.
there's no heart left anywhere on this team. I think
Mhm.
only just a few. Well, we're going to find out because it doesn't get any easier this week. We have to face the Baltimore Ravens and the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson, and he doesn't even run as much as he does. He's not.
No,
He's on pace to
he's
run
throwing that
less
he's throwing that
than he
pickle, man.
ran last year. And
Well,
and,
He's
yeah,
and
throwing
you,
that
you
pickle.
know how dangerous he is, how dangerous his legs can be. So if he is opting to pass it more, and he is throwing better than he was. That was the knock against him coming out of college. That he wasn't the greatest passer, and he worked on that between year 1 and year 2. And last year he wound up winning the MVP. But he's even improved on his passing from year 2
From
to year
last year.
3. And yeah, and so he doesn't run as much, and that's a scary thing because you want to make him pass. He's the type of dude like you want to make him pass because his legs are so dangerous. You want
No,
him
you don't
to
want to
be
make a pass
in
down.
the
Yeah, you want
pocket. Yeah, you don't want him running
you
around and
want
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you
you
would like to
know,
see him
Yeah.
pass it more, and he's doing that better than he's done in the past. So it's a scary thing. Let's just say it's a scary thing.
They still punch you in
Um,
the mouth, man. They still got the big backs that punch you in the
well,
mouth too.
they're a running team. Their office is basically surrounded
Yeah.
by running the ball.
And they got J.K. Dobbins, the individual we had opportunity to get.
J.K. Dobbins is the third running back on our roster. They're not somebody
All right.
they use him.
All
Yes,
right.
don't get me wrong, they use
Okay.
him,
All
but
right.
he's not the threat that we
Okay.
need to be worrying
All
about,
right.
man.
all right, Everett says yes, the Eagles can win the Super Bowl this year, and that was my question. Do you think this team can be good enough to win if we can like get it together because we're definitely in the running to win this division. So our
It's not who you
hopes
play.
of
Who you playing
making a deep playoff run is not out of the question. But
Yeah.
it's going to take it's going to take a lot better play than what we've seen in the first 5 weeks. We're not going to do anything if we don't get any better than we were the first 5 weeks. This past week is kind of a stepping stone. We saw Carson Wentz play a lot better. Defense kind of let us down. But do you see the talent that we have on this team, and some players are going to be returning with the talent that we have and what we've seen thus far? Do you think that we have enough talent that this team can turn it around and contend for a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that was
listen,
my question.
the mentality has to change this game. Like they have to change the mentality from the head coaches all the way down to the players. They have to change. They have to be hungry dogs. Down
They
there.
gotta
I hate to
become
say
a
that.
family.
I
You gotta
hate to
become
say
a
this,
family.
Be cliche. Gotta become hungry
You
dogs.
gotta become a family, man. If you become a family, like
Man, listen.
I-
if you're
I'm
not
not
a family,
telling-
if
I'm
you're not a
telling you
family
from ex-
now,
I'm telling you-
by this time,
I'm telling you from experience, they haven't had the time to bond.
listen. If
When
you're
they
not
had
a
the time
family,
to bond, they didn't have
if
time
you're
to
not
hang
a
out.
family by this time, especially in these times, if you're not a family by this time, it's not going to happen. That chemistry is gone. I mean, so
All
I'm
right,
saying
so-
it's
I
possible.
do want to say this though. I really don't always when we talk about our rivals and we talk about the Giants, we call them ants. We talk about the Washington football team, we call them the WTF. When you talk about the Cowgirls, we say the Cowgirls, of course. But you know what? To Dak Prescott, man, that was a gruesome injury.
Yeah, I hope he get well, man. I don't,
You know,
I don't-
we're
want
kind
nobody-
of classy Eagles
Yeah.
fans.
want
We
no
still gonna call you
injuries.
Cowgirls, but to Dak, you know, just rest up, get
Yeah,
better.
get better, man.
That's it.
Like,
That's all.
you
Our shout you get.
Never want nobody to
No
get
more.
injured. You know what I mean? I never want nobody to get carried out on the cart. Like, I played the game, he played the game. You know what I mean? It's just a respect to the brotherhood. And I know we are
You're going too far now.
we argue.
All
I'm
right,
just saying,
okay,
we
yeah,
argue
you're right.
about-
All
argue about doing-
right.
I was thinking
All right,
that-
look, let's
look
end this
bad.
fourth quarter, man. Let's end this fourth quarter.
I love you.
And that's the end of the quarter.
Guys, thanks so much.
I'm about to
it's a
tackle this guy.
pleasure.
I'm about
And
to
it's so
tackle this guy right
entertaining
now, man.
to co-host this show with you guys, man. It's fun, and you know, it's a fun thing, and that's what we do. We come here, we talk about our favorite team, we have a lot of fun, but you guys bring a lot of insight and a lot of knowledge of the game to the program, and I appreciate you guys, man. And I appreciate everyone that's in the chat room too. Thank you for supporting Eagles Talk, man, for coming and talking about football, about our favorite football team with us, man, because without you guys, it would be no Eagles Talk. So thank you so much. If you think about it, go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel on Eagles Talk. But we will be back on Sunday for pregame as we face the Baltimore Ravens, and we've got to get that energy up, and we got to get that positivity up, because we still believe in our team. We still believe, and our division is set up and in such a way that we are still in the running to win this division. So let's start, like JT said early in this program, all we have to do is go 1-0 this Sunday. So tune in on Sunday at, when's the game? I forget. I don't know. We're going to come on an hour before kickoff. So if it's a 1 o'clock game, we'll be on at 12 o'clock. I just don't know what time the game comes
It's
on.
a 1 o'clock game on CBS.
It's a 1 o'clock game. So we'll be on 12 o'clock. So tune in 12 o'clock. We'll be here, and we'll
fans
do
in
our
the stadium.
online. Yeah, and there's fans in the stadium this week, so maybe that'll make a difference too. So tune in, and we'll have a virtual online tailgate before the Eagles kick off against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. For my co-host, the Sandlin Boys, Pat and Shell, we will see you guys on Sunday. We're out. Take us out, Pat.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. It's Eagles talk live, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad, big